everyone. Yes, it's time for the monthly Patreon lottery reading. As you can see, I have everyone's names in this bowl ready to be put to the test of luck. And I just want to say, if you're new to this, I do these type of events, these lottery events every month. So if you'd like to enter the next lottery, I recommend that you take a look at the description where I explain how you can enter. You can enter on Patreon. So let's see who this month's winner is going to be. I hope you guys have all been doing well, by the way. I know I haven't been so active on my channel lately, but I'm incredibly busy. I have a full-time job now and other responsibilities that I need to fulfill. And I'm also about to move again, which is going to be my 4th move this year. So I have a lot going on. But hopefully in the upcoming months I'm going to be able to settle down and make more videos for you. And the winner for this month's reading is Jordan. Congratulations, Jordan, and let's get to your reading. So, this reading is going to be for you, Jordan, and I'm going to make this reading on the situation that you described to me in a private message. You were asking about this topic for your upcoming reading, and I'll be careful not to share any specific details, but you know which topic we're talking about. And I think when I say it's about love, it's not giving too much away. So this is going to be a love reading for you, Jordan. And I'm just going to shuffle the cards a little bit before we get into it. And I would just like to ask you to slow down with me a little bit as I'm slowing down with the shuffling, and our breathing is also slowing down. We're starting to tune into the tarot mindset, the energies that are connected with the subconscious mind. So I'm just going to do a little more shuffling and fan the cards. I'm using the Osho Zen Tarot deck for this reading. Okay, so the first card should represent you in the here and now, in the context of this issue and this topic. And the next card should represent the baggage that you're carrying from the past. So this is a freestyle reading, by the way, and if anyone else is watching and they have a question of any kind, even if we cannot find a specific reading type for your problem, we can always do a freestyle reading, so there's always a possibility to do a reading on any kind of problem, not just the standard problems. So the baggage, and I'd like to pull one card that is going to represent your foundation, your rock, your main source of strength and energy during this difficult time. So this is what you can build upon. And one card for the obstacles and challenges that you need to get ready yourself for. All right. And one last card for now about future influences. Okay. Okay, so the past, the baggage you're carrying, your current state, 2 major arcana cards so far, so it's incredibly profound and important what you're going through. 2 of Cups. Okay, challenges, another major arcana card. Interesting. And finally, the future, another major arcana card. So basically, in a 5-card reading, we have 4 major arcana cards, and that's extremely rare. And it's telling me that what you're going through is going to absolutely be essential in shaping the next phase of your life, the next incarnation, so to say, of who you are, because it's what I'm seeing here is almost like a rebirth process. So looking at the past, we have completion, which is the World card in the traditional tarot. And that's suggesting to me that what you're carrying with you is the memory, the desire, and the need for this experience of a union with another human being, with the universe, basically, because those people who have deep feelings and are easily getting attached to their partner and loved ones. They experience this ecstatic union with another person as if they were reuniting with the universe. So it's a very cosmic feeling. And it's not necessarily negative baggage, because when we use the word baggage from the past, most of the time we think of something that is unnecessary, perhaps unhealthy, toxic. It's not necessarily so in your case. You have had beautiful experiences of this unifying experience, and you're still, these memories, these experiences are ingrained within you deeply, and they are shaping you the way you are now. But one thing that's coming to my mind that can be a little dangerous with this type of programming, or this kind of life, is that you're under the illusion that you cannot be complete unless someone completes you, or just the notion of incompleteness and the need to look for something or someone to make you perfect, to make you whole again. But I don't see any baggage that would need to be dropped. It's just life unfolding for you. So what you have gone through, what you're going through, is a natural process. There was no real malicious intent behind anything that happened to you. It's just the universe's way of teaching you and guiding you towards a new self, a new chapter. So, the current condition you're in is the Devil card. And the devil in the traditional tarot would be depicted by a couple who are chained to the throne of the devil, and it would imply this lack of freedom, this lack of space that comes from toxic situations and toxic relationships. But this deck has a very different view on the devil and the concept of the devil. So what we have here is the clash of the individual and society. Your true being confronting or being confronted with herd mentality. So it's almost like what you're experiencing at the moment is a process, a journey away from this illusion or this urge to complete yourself and it's heading in the completely different direction. You separating, you indulging in your individuality, or you rediscovering your separateness from the world. There's a lot of pride and a lot of courage in this card. So even though the situation is not ideal when you compare it to the paradigm depicted by the world card, it's not as bad as you would think. You're not lost by any means. And I thought I would perhaps read from the booklet about this card, because I'm just wondering what it says about the devil. So it says, this card recalls an old Zen story about a lion who was brought up by sheep and who thought he was a sheep until an old lion captured him and took him to a pond where he showed him his own reflection. Many of us are like this lion. The image we have of ourselves comes not from our own direct experience, but from the opinions of others. Personality, imposed from the outside, replaces the individuality that could have grown from within. We become just another sheep in the herd, unable to move freely and unconscious of our true identity. It's time to take a look at your own reflection in the pond and make a move to break out of whatever you've been conditioned by others to believe about yourself. Dance, run, jog, do gibberish, whatever is needed to wake up the sleeping lion within. So, it's about going directly against what you once thought to be true about yourself and liberating the lion within. So it's actually kind of like a journey of learning about who you really are. So it's not as bad as you would think, and especially if we consider your source of strength. And we can see the Two of Cups here, which is kind of like a lower resonance of the World card here, or the Lovers card, which is the opposite of the Devil. So it's a minor arcana equivalent of that same energy, and it's telling me that you can absolutely utilize and rely upon your intimate relationships, friendships, people who you speak to on a regular basis, one-on-one. And as you can see in this image, the trees are separate, so they are individually separate beings and entities, but the leaves are kind of mixing together, creating this beautiful color. So this card is encouraging you to keep on putting value in and nurturing your interpersonal relationships, especially the ones that are like this, one-on-one. So it's not a Three of Cups kind of thing where we immerse ourselves in a bigger crowd or a bigger group of people. It's about a heart-to-heart, soul-to-soul kind of relationship where you have deep conversations and you immerse yourselves in the relationship, in the friendship, in a way that preserves both of yours personalities and individualities. So that's a great source of strength for you while you're embarking upon this really wild journey of basically breaking off of this ideal, perhaps, that you perceive to be an ideal life, and becoming more concerned with living a life, taking risks, taking the risk of not being liked, taking the risk of perhaps having to fight the world on your own, but preserving your individuality, your identity, your integrity. So it's an interesting time for you, and as I said, it's more positive than negative, and it's more it's deeper. It goes really deep. So it's not just the surface situation, something ending and experiencing the event itself, but it's a symbolic thing that is taking you out of your familiar context, which is represented by the world, and starting to experiment. So I'm not worried about you at all. It seems like you're going to learn a lot about yourself, and this was something that you needed. It was something inevitable. And for the obstacle, we have the Master card, which is a card unique to this deck. You cannot find this in any other deck. It's a card in between the last and the first card of the Major Arcana, I believe. And you see Osho in this image. And so the main challenge, I believe, is to accept this as a teaching, to accept this as a lesson, and to make the most of it. So it might be tempting to go back to the way things were before, but you can never go back, because you're going to learn and realize things about yourself that are invaluable and will make you not want to transform back into your old self that was kind of needy in a way, or that felt like she was incomplete and perhaps incapable without the wholeness, the wholesomeness of a relationship. So it's the lesson aspect of the whole thing that's making this kind of hard, because it's a bitter pill to swallow, I guess, but it's important, and it's ultimately going to bring you a breakthrough, which is another Major Arcana card. It's Justice, in the traditional tarot. And what this card is about, it's about the consequences of our actions. So this is the starting point, and every decision you make from now on is going to have a huge impact on your future love life. So everything that's happened up until this point doesn't really matter, because it was part of the old paradigm. But you're traveling towards a breakthrough experience, and your actions, if they are aimed at freedom and creating a different life for yourself, these decisions will have an amplified effect, and they will bring you the energies and the things that you invite to yourself. So this is an incredibly powerful time, like I said, to do manifestation work. And where you put your focus during this time is extremely, extremely important, because, like I said, you're in the process of creating a new life. And it's just important to be mindful of what you give energy to. So don't be afraid to stray from the road that you were on, the life that you imagined that you would have, because it's not necessarily the life that truly belongs to you. This is what I see here. There's a break from a previous belief of how things should be and how your life should operate, and you're transforming into something more and unorthodox in a way. So I hope that you enjoyed this reading, Jordan. Thank you very much for supporting my channel, and I hope to see you in my next video.